let's talk about dating and leveling up so that we can make sure we are breaking our old karmic cycles that are not good for us, so that we can create good cycles, right? Learn from our lessons. So when you're dating, being advanced, being wise, seeing things differently than most people, you may see things differently, you may be advanced, but that doesn't necessarily mean everybody else is. So you have to take in consideration what level are they on, especially if you know about other lifetimes. How many lifetimes have they been here? Are they, evolving and growing and learning and leveling up? Like, do you see that, or do they just say that? There's a lot of people that want to be advanced. They want to be a lot of things and they want a lot of things. But as an advanced person and leveling up, you want to use discernment, not judgment, discernment, and observe when you're dating. Hey, is this person in alignment with me? They're telling me they are, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are. And when you're transforming and leveling up to break karmic cycles, more than likely in the beginning, and as you master it, you're not going to be strong enough to get pulled into their illusions. So that's why it's important to create those boundaries. And it's not personal, but sometimes, if you feel like you have to ghost somebody, ghost them. It's not immature. It's choosing your peace. Because sometimes when you explain the way that you think and feel, people will be like, yeah. No, I totally understand. I get that. They want to be, but they haven't shifted yet, and they're not transformed. They're just not there yet, even if they tell you that. And sometimes when you explain yourself and communicate and you're not strong enough, you'll get sucked into their own illusion that they got going on, and you'll believe them, and then you'll end up in another karmic cycle. That's why it's important to learn how to trust your intuition, trust yourself during dating. You don't need to say, hey, I don't trust anybody, so I'm not dating. No. We don't need to guard our heart. We don't need to guard ourselves. We need to learn how to trust ourselves, use discernment, and trust that we can stay strong enough to not get into those old karmic cycles. So if you don't feel strong enough when, past energy keeps coming in, or energy that's not in alignment in different forms, tests keep coming in, just stay away from it, and that's okay. Because more than likely you'll explain yourself and you'll get sucked into the illusion, because a lot of people, they want to think like that, they want to be like that, or they say they're one way, but they're not. And that's what you have to learn. That's why we're learning about all this stuff about ourselves and being, reading energy, reading the room, learning how to trust the way that we feel. If something feels really heavy and stressful and chaotic, it's not in alignment with someone advanced. And we learn how to break those cycles, because dating and relationships are probably one of the hardest things that we have to do to coexist, and when we level up. So it's great to have a person and find that, be in alignment with that person that's in alignment with you. But to get there, to transform, and then to be consistent and to, align with someone on your level is another question. Because the universe throws you tests, and sometimes they're not easy. Sometimes someone presents themselves in a way that they're just not, and there's no judgment. People out there calling people narcissists and all these names. Well, there's no need for that. They're just not leveled. They're not healed. They're not leveled up. They're not transformed. And they may not even have very many lifetimes down here and have that experience. So you don't want to judge them. And, when you date and say, you find out that person's not for you as you're dating, or, just talking, that's okay to walk away. And if they're receptive and kind and peaceful, you can say something. But if you feel like they're going to pull you into an illusion, being nice and kind, and it doesn't feel like they're telling you the truth, or it doesn't feel right, go with your intuition, because that is a huge test to level up. Will you listen to yourself the first time to break those karmic cycles? Because sometimes we'll feed them for a little bit and then realize, oh, be like, oh, that's a karmic cycle. We got to get out of that. So your goal is when they throw you the test, is to pass it the first time. Don't feed into it. And even if you do, it's a part of the journey. But that's where you're wanting to go, is where you can just pinpoint the test and say, no, that's definitely a test. That's not in alignment with me. And then just move on and don't feed into it. Because a lot of people are stuck in their own illusions. They're stuck in their own lower perspective. And sometimes they can manipulate, and not necessarily in an evil or mean way, but to get what they want. You know what I mean? And sometimes they say they want love, but they're really just surface level. So people like us, we're advanced, we're deep, we see beyond the physical. So surface level people, physical people don't resonate with us. People that are always focused on their body and the physical and the money and we're focused on energy and how we show up. So you want to, be aware of that, because some people can have a lot of money. That doesn't mean that they're in alignment with you. Just because they're rich, they still could need a lot of healing the way they think and feel. And look at their body. If their body's not on point, that's probably one sign they're not in alignment with you. If people are unhealthy, hitting on you and telling you that they're healthy, and you can clearly see that they're not, pass that test. Go with your gut and listen, because when you do and you actually listen and pass the test, you feel on top of the world. You just feel so much lighter and better. And then the doubt goes away of, well, maybe this is all that I can get, that karmic cycle. Because a lot of times we get into those doubt modes, or those thoughts of limited thoughts of, well, maybe this is all we, they got these good qualities. They're not perfect. They're not in exactly alignment with me, but no, we got to pick what's in alignment, because when you pass the test, you'll get thrown someone more in alignment with you. It happens every time. So we throw out those limited viewpoints and say, you know what, no matter what, it doesn't even feel good to be with someone and not in alignment with me. So I'd just rather be by myself and stay on this level. I don't want to go down levels. And when you go up levels, the more rare it is that you resonate with people. But that's good. That's a good thing. Okay? That's really good. Just use discernment when you're dating so that you can have a relationship that feels amazing, an equal give and take, a balanced relationship. Some people can talk a good game, and then when you have intimate times together, they prove that it was all about them. Don't pick people like that. If they just come and, suck your energy. And when you are leveling up and dating and talking to people, don't be scared to date and talk and to, figure out the energy sometimes. But you're going to get to a level where you're just going to instantly know and instantly pass the test. And that's where, that's where you're going to want to get, or that's where you may be at right now, where you're instantly like, no, I'm ready to start passing the test instantly. Okay. And I'm understanding not to take it personal, that it's just to see if I can hold my vibration, hold who I am, and stay in alignment with your true self, so that you don't lose yourself when you get into a relationship, and you can show up in true form and stay connected to your true self. Okay. So have fun on your journey. Don't take it so serious. Just step back, observe, learn, level up, and lift yourself higher. Okay, I'll see you next time.